We going live. We going live and we going direct. I guess we can have both signs here. We can have this one in here. The don't tread on me here. You know, the don't fuck with me here. Have that here is our lovely background here. As we are on the fresh and funky motherfucking sports plays and parlays for Wednesday, September the 28th. So give y'all a little bit of different views here. Get to see the don't tread on me flag here, which means, I'm not a fucking Trumper. I'm not some of these motherfuckers that want to sit up out here and act like I'm gonna be somebody's bitch. I want this to be very clear and to every person that can hear me. I'm not here to save your fucking life. I'm not here to tell you that, your way is wrong, my way is right. I'm here to tell you that if you don't wake the fuck up and you don't realize what's going around you, you don't know what's going on, you're never going to know what's going to go on. And it's just going to keep on as a vicious cycle over and over again. So we can continue to play this silly little game or the silly little things, or we can go on about ourselves and live a better life and want better. But see, there's people that don't want that. And see, they're not going to come out to you and tell it to your fucking face that they don't want that. They're just going to lie and manipulate everything else to make it to where it's like, well, so now you have to be by what we do. Or guess what? No. You're either gonna stand or you're gonna fall. And there's no rhyme or reason about it. Doesn't matter what your culture. It doesn't matter what culture you come from, whether you're poor, rich, or whatever. It all applies. It all applies. But yes, we are having some sports here. Obviously, we have the MLB playoff push here. Last week of baseball here. Some teams are trying to, secure that last spot here. Obviously, the Mariners last night losing grounds, but they really didn't lose too much ground because the Baltimore Orioles fell to the Boston Red Sox. So therefore, where the Orioles could have gained some ground on that third wild card spot, it's kind of slipped away. It's kind of slipping away a little bit for the Orioles. But they've had an overachieving year as uh, as a team that out of a market. Most people don't think that it's Baltimore is a great baseball team. Um, I mean, yeah, when they had Manny Machado once upon a time ago and Chris Davis, and they had a formidable team. But before that, they had Cal Ripken Jr., who was obviously, the man of the Orioles here. Obviously, there was a lot of other players as well that represented the Orioles franchise. So, I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while since they've had, a taste of the playoffs. And so they're trying this year. But the Mariners are another team that haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. Obviously, Ichiro Suzuki, obviously Ken Griffey Jr., obviously Alex Rodriguez, obviously Felix Hernandez. Those type of players. Tino Martinez, Edgar Martinez. I mean, obviously, we go on and naming players. So, this young Mariners team, another team that's exceeding expectations this year, playing very well, did very well as far as bringing over free agents and guys, and then also obviously having Julio Rodriguez having an amazing year, and he's just gonna blossom into a great player here. He's gonna be the Ken Griffey Jr., the Alex Rodriguez of the team, and there's no better player than that. He represents, he bodies that. He can hit the ball. He's really good on the bases as far as stealing bases, as far as fielding. I mean, he's got all the tools. I mean, every player gets hurt. That there's no, just hopefully that they don't get hurt severely, so they're out for a season. Something that way, that hinders their growth going forward. So, with that being said, let's check in on this wonderful day of baseball here. All right, so we already had a game in the books here. We have a game already in the books here today. That contest was between Two teams that basically were not, uh, kind of had no shot in the first place. One team is the Cincinnati Reds. They basically told, yesterday I talked to my man Mutt Dust, aka Mutt Goon, the big goon, the tatted up goon. He's a Cincinnati Reds fan, and he was basically saying the owner came out like during the season, like second and third game, and basically said, "We're not going to win. We're going to suck." And then he had to take it back, and then somebody else, I guess, weeks after people just kind of just thought it was whatever, and he kind of just doubled down on it. And that's kind of sad. There's 60 and 96 right now here. Obviously, the Pirates are 59 and 97, so both these teams have about the same record. They're both in the same division in the National League Central. Obviously, both teams have to contend with the Milwaukee Brewers, and they also have to contend with the St. Louis Cardinals. In my sports show, right? So yeah, so the Pirates today, came out with another win here. Got it in the 10th inning here. Kevin Newman hits the game-winning single in the 10th as the Pirates win, and they swept the Reds here. So, I mean, my man, oh man, my man Diaz, the fucking Diaz brother, man, the fucking Diaz brother, man. He got the fucking room, man. Where the fuck you at, man? Fucking Diaz brothers, man. But no, uh, like I said, Diaz here is probably going to be the Cincinnati Reds' closer going forward here as far as next year. Really good closer. Obviously, the Pirates have a great closer here. He didn't have to get the save on the day. That would be David Bedard. Yeah, so let's run down the baseball. We have baseball starting at 3:10 West Coast time. Obviously, about 5. No, I'd say about 6:10 Eastern time. 5 Central, 4 Mountain, obviously 3 West Coast, and obviously about 2 or 3, about noon or 1 o'clock out there in Hawaii. But we have the Tampa Bay Rays here and the Guardians. Uh, Tyler Glass now here is making his first appearance of the season here. One of the aces, young aces of the Tampa Bay Rays franchise here. Obviously, Shane McClellan here has been their big ace here, and he's been banged up during the season as well. And obviously, Tristan McKenzie here for the Guardians here. Obviously, both teams here, um, similar records. Obviously, the Guardians are leading in the American League Central, and the Tampa Bay Rays here are 85 and 69. So they're about a game. They're about a game behind the Guardians. So both these teams have fairly the same, same record here. Obviously, the Guardians are 40 and 33 at home. The Rays are 34 and 39. So the Rays haven't been, they're not a terrible team on the road, but they seem to lose more games on the road than they do at home. And so we'll see today here. Obviously, see what Tyler Glass now has to pitch today here. And obviously, Tristan McKenzie is 11-11 on the season here. He's pitched 22. He's actually pitched 22 games, got 11 wins and 11 losses here. So he's 500 pitcher with a 3.04 ERA, which isn't bad. That's not a bad ERA. He's not a terrible pitcher, but he's somebody that definitely moving forward, if he could get better here, I mean, definitely he could be one of the solid aces moving forward with Shane Bieber of the Guardians, who's basically obviously the closer, the man, the all-star pitcher. And so Trevor Glass now and the Rays are going to try and maybe sneak one and get a victory here today here in Cleveland at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And we have the Royals and the Tigers. We have Daniel Lynch taking on Matt Manning over here. Obviously, again, two teams in the obviously in the American League Central with the Guardians. These teams are on the bottom here, the two bottom teams here in that division. Obviously, you got the Guardians, and you got the Twins, and you have the White Sox. Those three teams are usually competing against each other for either tops of the division or at least. And then you got the Royals and the Tigers basically holding it down at the cellar of the American League Central. But Royals are 63 and 91, but the Tigers are 61 and 92. So obviously, two teams that have almost the same similar number of wins and losses. Royals are 24 and 49 away. Not very. That's not very good numbers. And the Tigers are 32 and 45 at home. So I mean that doesn't. So we'll definitely have to see about that. Then we obviously have the Braves and the Nationals here. Braves taking care of the work at the nation's capital here against them. The rebuilding Nationals here, 53 and 101. 101 losses here. I believe they're the first team to have 101 losses on the season here. So then we have the New York Yankees and the Blue Jays. Yankees clinched the division last night in Toronto. But Aaron Judge is still stuck at number 60 here. He has not been able to tie the record nor break the record here. So, I mean, pitchers have not been pitching to him. He's been walked, and a lot of people are Stephen A. Smith, he's obviously speaking out and saying that, people should pitch to this man. They shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared to be on the wrong side of history. I mean, but yeah, the Yankees 95 and 59, 39-37 on the road, not too terrible. Really really solid. I mean, the Braves are 45 and 32 on the road. Wow, amazing road record actually. And yeah, the Blue Jays 87 and 68 here, 44 and 33. So they have a really decent record at home. So we got Garrett Cole. So the Yankees keep the winning ways, and hopefully maybe Judge finally gets it. Maybe Mr. White over here will be the guy that pitches to him to give it up here. So I mean, we shall see. There'll be Aaron Judge watch tonight at 7:07 here Eastern Time, 4:07 West Coast. Then we have the Orioles and the Red Sox. Obviously, the Orioles are battling it, trying to, you know, maintain a spot in the wild card here. Obviously, Blue Jays are up 6 games on them, so there's no chance that Orioles have to catch the Blue Jays here. But the Red Sox here, 73 and 81 here. They're 38 and 38, so they're not too terrible. The Orioles are 36 and 40, so not terrible on the road either. We have the Miami Marlins and we have the Mets. Obviously, Marlins are probably more concerned about their families back home as this Hurricane Ian, the eye has now hit, is hitting over there at the a little bit. I would say it's south of St. Petersburg, south of Tampa, but in the Cape Coral area. And so, if you got family or anybody out there, please pray for those people. Please make sure that you check on your loved ones and make sure they're okay, because this is a Category 4 hurricane, and I know some people have they want to ride things out, but you have to understand, if you're going to ride it out, this is not something Yeah. I mean, ask the people in Cuba that basically got their power knocked out. And I understand Cuba's, their infrastructure and everything is a lot more poor than ours, but they're also going through, that hurricane hit, knocked out the power and everything else during a hard economical time, hard this and that. See, you're not hearing that in the news and all that, because they don't want to tell you that this is what's going down, and everybody in the world is going through an economically crisis and going through natural disasters and obviously all these other things here. So especially when big natural disasters like hurricanes and earthquakes and all that, that really affects the economy and really, hampers, how we got to hope that, people are going to get the assistance in the next coming days after the storm goes where, and as they will, we will all come together and to help those because, a lot of us do have family or people, we know people that are out there and being affected right now, and we hope for the best for them here, and we hope for, all the sports teams this weekend that if they had games. I mean, I'm sure probably some of these games got canceled, or if they got hopefully they got moved to neutral sites and out of places. And just think, people think that just, once this hurricane's done with Florida, all these others, it's out of the way. You're going to have Georgia, you're going to have South Carolina, it's going to get hit by this thing. And you're going to get North Carolina and maybe West Virginia. And then, the remnants of this is going to. So, I mean, this remnants is still going to be felt. I mean, maybe not as much as far as destruction, but as far as like flooding and, some tornadoes, possible, isolated tornadoes and stuff of that nature. And like I said, let's pray for those people down there and in South Florida and then, in these other states that, are bracing for the impact of this first big named hurricane to actually make landfall. So, but needless to say, the Mets and the Marlins are playing today in Citi Field out there in Queens, New York. We have the White Sox taking on the Minnesota Twins. We have the Phillies and the Cubs. We have the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Houston Astros. Astros have won 102 games. Really impressive. And they have Mr. Verlander out there pitching. Is going to be pitching tonight against Zach Gallen. So definitely a really solid pitching matchup here tonight. Here, it'll be interesting to see, exactly how the game shapes up here. If it's going to be a pitcher's duel, or it's going to be a pitcher's duel, but the Astros are going to just go running away with it. Then we have the Athletics here. They're 56-98 here, so 2 more games and they'll officially lose 100 games for the first time. And yeah, it's kind of been a little while here. Moneyball's kind of running dry there in Oakland, and obviously the A's future homes basically is probably going to be in Las Vegas. They already got there's already a minor league team down there and everything. So I'm assuming might as well move them out there because obviously nobody else is going to do anything unless I don't know they move to San Jose or somewhere else where they can. There's a stadium or they can. But it remains to see. They're playing the Angels here that are going through their form of rebuild as well. So what shall be interesting? We have the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Padres here. Dodgers have won 106 games on the season, only lost 48. Padres have won 86 and lost 68 here. And so, and Dodgers last night they lost. They ended up losing a close game to the Padres here. We got Julio Reyes and Joe Musgrave out there, so two solid pitchers out here. But we will see. We'll definitely see what's going to happen there. We have the Rangers and the Mariners. Mariners are 83-70 here. 39-33 here. They lost last night here. So they took a hard loss to the Rangers here. The Rangers are 66-87. We got Martin Perez here, the All-Star Martin Perez against Mr. Kirby here, the young pitch prospect for the Mariners here. We got the Rockies and the Giants. The Giants, if they can win here, get closer to ending the season 500, a lot better than what some would say. Some people thought the Giants weren't going to be. And at one point they were pretty competitive and they were doing a good job, but then it just kind of fell apart, injuries and other things of that nature. And like I said, they're another team that is basically rebuilding. losing Buster Posey retiring, so soon, and basically, an off season of, hey, there was some good, the bad, and the ugly, and they'll have to worry about fixing that next season, and you got to worry about the postseason. Uh, so the Mariners are 83 and 70 here, and let's see and so yeah, 4 games. So yeah, basically the Orioles need to win today, Thursday if they're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they got to hope that basically the Mariners lose, but I don't know. Mariners might have the tiebreaker over them. We don't know. We'll have to look into more of that here. So that is what's going on today. Along with we got preseason hockey. We have preseason NHL hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Hockey is getting underway. NBA will be getting underway probably here in a few weeks. Here, we'll probably start seeing some exhibition games here by some of the NBA teams. I know training camp is just opened up here, so see, we got the Capitals and the Flyers tonight. We have the Buffalo Sabres and the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Battle of Canada. I like to call it Canada. Then we have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Red Wings. We have the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Obviously, another Battle of Canada. We have the Coyotes of Arizona taking on the Anaheim Ducks here. We have the Avalanche of Colorado taking on the Golden Knights. We have the Sharky Sharks here. Sharky Sharks here against the Kings here. Sharks are 2-0. Kings are 1-0-1. They've already lost to the Sharks, so let's see. And one game that has been postponed is the Tampa Bay Lightning game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Obviously, knowing that there is a hurricane coming, they will be. I mean, literally, figuratively, Carolina hurricane. A hurricane is coming in there, and I mean, and I don't want to make pun on play on words, but I mean that's just kind of the irony. All right, then we have the NFL here. Obviously, we have the NFL here. Let's try to get some news and notes. Obviously, from all right, Minneapolis. So the Minnesota Vikings Stadium will host the Chiefs and Bucks. If the Chiefs and the Bucks has to relocate, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have to. All right, looks like Joey Bosa here. Looks like Joey Bosa here is going on the IR. So let's say, we'll have to see here. We'll have to see how that kind of affects here. But I definitely think the Chiefs and the Bucks are gonna have to relocate. I mean, you hope not. You don't. I mean, you don't want to play a game when a hurricane has just basically come through and basically just because you don't know how much damage is going to be done and how's it going to be and all right. And Bill Belichick reiterates Jones. Here it is. Mac Jones is a. He basically reiterates Mac Jones day by day, 12 times. So Bill Belichick doing Bill Belichick type things, as he always does. Jameis Winston plans to play after a rest day in London. Okay. So it looks like the New Orleans Saints have gone and already made it over to jolly old London there. we'll see. I mean, I don't know. The Vikings should have been over there as well here, just to get acclimated to the field and everything else and of that nature. The Jets. You know, Zach Wilson has been medically cleared to start against the Steelers here. Now, is that a good idea? Well, I guess we're gonna find out here if it's a good idea or not. Browns not ruling Garrett out Sunday after crash, so maybe Garrett, maybe Garrett will play after he got into a one vehicle accident where his car basically flipped and rolled over, and yeah, he was hurt. But no, as far as like damage or no, he was not under the influence or any of that nature. So thank God he's not, seriously hurt. Bengals DBs say they have Apples back versus Hill. All right, so we got Tyreek Hill's coming in. You got Jalen Waddle, and Bengals DBs are gonna be in for it here. Obviously Tyreek's the more the guy they don't want to get beat more. They rather probably get beat by Jalen Waddle, which for me I would rather not get beat by both. I mean, if I can't get beat by, I don't want to get beat by Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. I want Tua to beat me with Mike Gilsicki. Okay, I want him to beat me with Rivercraft. Okay, I don't want him to beat me utilizing his two most favorite weapons. Just saying. And those guys, they did a number on the Bills secondary, and that, I mean, I know they're not at full strength or whatever, but yeah, the Bengals secondary will be tested here. And everybody knows Giants did lose their leading receiver Sterling Shepard to a torn ACL here after he was coming off an injury here, so we'll see. Was that the last time we see Sterling Shepard in a New York Giants uniform? Maybe he goes somewhere else next year, and maybe. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. We will definitely see, and so yeah. So we basically have Miami. The Dolphins are taking on the Bengals here tomorrow. Tomorrow night in Cincinnati, in the Ohio, on Prime Video. The Dolphins come in 3-0 here, and the Bengals come in 1-2 now. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I mean, on a short week here, do we know that Tua's? Obviously we know Joe Mixon's gonna be playing here. He was a little banged up a little bit, but Joe Mixon will be playing. So we'll see if Tua's gonna be playing. So far, we haven't heard anything that he's not. So maybe maybe we'll get some word on it, here and there, maybe especially probably tomorrow. So tomorrow's plays and parlays we'll be picking this game, and we'll also be picking the Utah State and BYU college football, which we'll be getting into here shortly. So yeah. So the Miami Dolphins and the Bengals here. I mean, definitely like what I see here. Definitely going to be a good game. I think, I think that this is a game. I'm not trying to say it's a trap game here for Miami, but it's a game that, maybe the Bengals play better than people expect them to on a short week, and put that first L on Miami here. So, I mean, we're going to see, and I'll give you my who I'm going to take. I'm parlay bets tomorrow and this and that here. Today we're gonna get a little bit talking into about just some of the games. Kind of segue into it a little bit here, and obviously we have the London game here between the Vikings and the Saints early Sunday morning. For those of us out here in the West Coast, it will be at 6:30 a.m. early in the morning. If you're out there on the East Coast, it'll be about 9:30 in the morning here. So, and if you're over in England, it's gonna be obviously in the afternoon. So, Well, that being said, here, that's all right. All right. Hurricane Ian is forcing Eastern, I guess, the game between Eastern Washington. I'm assuming Eastern Washington and Florida got moved to Sunday here. Boise State quarterback Basha Meyer to enter transfer portal. Gamecocks shift game to Thursday due to hurricane. Stanford's running back Emmett Smith's son, is out for the season now. Iowa linebacker Jacobs here had to have season-ending surgery, so that hurts them. A&M loses their top receiver Smith to a season-ending injury, so some interesting games. So we actually have two more. We'll actually have two games tomorrow. Actually, well, the South Carolina game will be moved to Thursday up to Thursday here. Again, Utah State and BYU here. Definitely like BYU. Definitely BYU should probably take care of business at home against Utah State. But you never know here, these wild and wacky Thursday night games here. And then Friday night we got a hell of a game in the Pac-12 here. We got the number 15 ranked Huskies of Washington with Panics leading them in. And they're going down to Pasadena in the home of the Rose Parade here, the Rose Bowl and everything else of that nature. You got the UCLA Bruins that are 4-0 here under Chip Kelly. Yes, Chip Kelly. Yes, Chip Kelly that used to coach, New Hampshire when he first came out there with his unorthodox style. And then he was obviously the Oregon Duck guru, and then he tried to go and be the NFL guru, and he failed miserably. Then had a couple of shots at it, but didn't get. And then now he's back into college, and he seems to be doing somewhat well down there in UCLA this year, 4-0. So we'll definitely see about that there. So let's go into today's baseball games here. Well, obviously we're gonna have to. Obviously, we're gonna be checking out. We're gonna be checking out what games. What is gonna be our plays for the day here. What we like as far as plays here, and what we think as far as what would be good for a good parlay today here as far as the games going on here. So that's without further ado, let's get into it here. Let's get into the plays and the parlays segment here. Obviously, this is where I get my little breakdown. This is where where I kind of get my little feels here and kind of just give you my perspective. Obviously, I'm no expert. I only can tell you what I see from my eyes and how I can, just articulate it the best way I can in the way that I can explain it to people how I get to my rhyme and my reason of how I pick certain teams or back certain teams. That might even necessarily be a team that I like. I might just have to back them because the number might be just too good to be true, or just too good to just pass up. So, all right, we have the Tampa Bay Ray game here. We got the Rays and the Guardians. Obviously, we got Tyler Glass now making his first uh, debut of the season. The Guardians have Tristan McKenzie out there, who they trust a lot, and he's a pretty solid pitcher at home. So, yesterday we took our play was the over 6.5, and it cashed at 7 runs. So it went 7 runs yesterday here. So today, like I said, I like both pitchers. I like Tyler Glass now. He's a young pitcher. He had to go through, a pretty big surgery, so hence why he's, all of a sudden, basically at the end of the season, he's basically getting his first start of the season. Try to see, and Tristan McKenzie, he hasn't really been banged up too much. I mean, he's 11-11. So that's always a decent play. Like I said here, the Guardians seem to have the number a little bit here. But see, the Tampa Bay Rays here, they're at 50-69 here. And then you have the Mariners here that only, so, Rays got to win. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it here. I mean, the Guardians, there's really, I mean, I don't think, because you got the White Sox and Twins. There's just nobody else that has a shot. So I mean, if the Guardians kind of just lose out a little bit so the Rays definitely have to win here today. Now my thing is, do I pick that here? Do I take the Rays here, plus 105 here? As far as that goes here, and yesterday here, we'll go. The Rays ended up winning 6-5 here. It went 11 runs here. The Rays did end up winning here, so and exactly 4 guys on the mind. I mean, I don't know. I mean, now that this hurricane now, I mean, dude, is their hearts really in this game? I mean, do they even play this game? Do they just say, well, since Tampa Bay has a hurricane, we want, so gonna be 62 degrees. I mean, so I'm you know, I'm not much of a Guardians guy here. I mean, I would love to take the Rays just because the Rays and the hurricane, and just because Tyler Glass now, but I'm gonna have to take money line Guardians here. I don't want to take them in the run line here. The Guardians have enough to take, especially after hard fought yesterday here, and it definitely went up. It definitely went over 6 here, so I don't really like the under 6 here. Just kind of feel either the Rays or the Guardians here. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the Guardians right now here. We're gonna let that be our. Then we have the Royals here. We picked yesterday, and they did not. They did not. They did not. They went seven runs here. So today we have the over under 7.5 here. You said they went exactly 7 yesterday. Um, let's take the over 7.5. I mean, there's going to be 8 runs here. We'll put that down here first. Then we have the Braves and we have the Nationals here. Today I want to bet. I'm gonna back the Nationals. Will put on the run and a half here. I mean, I I like Isaiah Gray. I believe he's a good solid young pitcher, and is gonna be one of the solid young pitchers in that Nationals um you know rotation. I just I mean, for me, they have to compete, man. I feel as though they could definitely get one here tonight. Here, I mean, obviously the Braves have got to continue to win here. We have the Yankees. We have Yankees and the Blue Jays here. That went well over. That went well over the number. See, they went 10 and went 7 here. Yeah, see, that's why, the under 8.5. I mean, I don't know. The Braves and Nationals. I mean, I'd rather just take that here. The Yankees and the under 7 here, or just take. I mean, Yankees won. Yankees won 5-2 here. They won pretty convincingly here. So, do I believe Toronto? And Garrett Cole, he hasn't been pitching his best game here, but I kind of missed out on the Yankees money line yesterday, so we're gonna go Yankees money line. We'll take the Yankees money line today as well here. The Miami Marlins and the New York Mets here. Over under 6.5 here. Obviously, both these teams yesterday went over that. It went 6-4 here, so there was a lot of runs. Um, a lot of runs on there. I'm gonna lean with the Mets on the run to win by a run and a half. I just feel like the Mets here, they got a real strong shot here. Real strong shot to win here at home. I mean, and that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. Orioles, they kind of fucked me yesterday here and then went over here. Um Over under 9 runs here. I'm gonna take the under 9 here in this Red Sox and Orioles here. Under 9. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just kind of feel like that. Just then we got Jose Quintana against Brad Woodruff. I don't mind Quintana here in the Cardinals here. Kind of like that, and the over under 7, which isn't too bad because the basically the Cardinals won yesterday 6-2 here. They clinched the title here, so they did end up winning and went over 8 runs here. So I don't know. Does it end up going under that here with Brandon Woodruff and Jose Quintana here? Um, just think that yeah, I mean, or you know what? We'll take the Cardinals plus the run and a half here. Let's do something little that we haven't done in a while here. We got the Phillies and the Cubs here. Obviously, the Cubs are the underdogs here. Um, yesterday, the Cubs got the best of the Phillies here, 2-1 here.
Another busy day? Of course it is. You're a CIO, but you're covered with security in the cloud, and right here too.
All right. So past the struggling Phillies. So the Phillies are struggling here. They seem to be struggling as of late here. Um, I'm just haven't really had too much luck betting on the Cubs this year here. No, and hmm. Phillies and the Cubs here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the over here. I'm gonna take the over 6.5 in the Phillies and Cubs. I don't know. I know that's probably not smart, but um, yesterday we had the over in the White Sox and the Twins. That only went 4 runs, so that kind of stayed to the under, and it's got 8 runs here today here, and yeah, the Twins, the Twinsies have been but the over 8 runs here. I mean, I'd say it could go under 8 here. White Sox Twins here. Then we have the Astros, and we have the what I like to call the Desert Snakes, aka the Arizona Diamondbacks. Under 6 runs. No, I don't. I mean, these two teams played yesterday. It went 10-2. So I mean, it ended up being 12 runs here. So we So I mean, is it going to be 12 runs today? Can they and it can it end 6 runs? Mm. I'm gonna go the over 6 there. I'm gonna take the yeah. And then we have the Athletics and the Angels here. Um, um, both teams are kind of, and the Angels barely won here. No 7 here, so I'm gonna take the under 8 here. Under 8 runs in this A's and Angels game here. Um, then we have Dodgers and Padres here. We took Dodgers money line yesterday here, and it did not pan out. Did not pan out for us here. It went 4-3 here in the 10th. So it went 7, but I'm gonna tell you, I can't. Dodgers money line. I mean, I think they definitely get the dub here. We have the Rangers and we have the Mariners. The Rangers won 5-0 yesterday here. I mean, does it go under 6.5 runs? I mean, mm, and well, it went 5. It went 5-0. So, I don't know. I'll take the Rangers here money line. I don't really like that. Uh, Carlos Rodon here. I guess he's gonna be against Jose Urena. They won 5-2. The Giants did here. So I don't know. I'd go Giants again. Giants. So well, those are the plays. And so out of those plays, I'll narrow it down to make a very good parlay here that I think I can won't be able to make a little bit of money and some cash here. So, but anyhow, this you know We're gonna cut it short here because tomorrow we're gonna go a little bit longer here. We'll talk about some of the games. Probably won't be as many games as in baseball, but we'll have two college football games. The South Carolina game got moved up, and we also have the Thursday night football game, Miami and the Bengals. I'll give you my breakdown. I'll give you who I think is going to do well. What are the X factors? Kind of how I feel about the over under right now. Just tease it here. We'll just tease the over under right now here. The over under in the NFL game here Thursday night here is now it's still 4. Bengals are still favored to win by 4. Dolphins plus 170, and we have an over under of 47 points. So we have that, and we have college football here. College football. We have Utah State, the Aggies, and BYU. BYU's favored to win at home by 25 points. Obviously, Utah State's the favorite on the money line, plus 1,200. And the over-under is 60 points. So we got to figure out where. South Carolina. South Carolina? Who are they playing? Okay, now it makes me interested to see who they're playing right now. South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina. South Carolina, South Carolina. Just a little curious. I don't know about man. Coastal Carolina might not be able to play that game either. They might have to play it. They play Georgia either. That'll be a game that I'll be interested to see who. All right. And Clemson, they're supposed to be playing this Saturday here against North Carolina State. So we'll see. We'll see. These are going to be, obviously teams that are going to be affected by the hurricane. Maybe not necessarily like the strong winds of the hurricane, but definitely the flooding and things of that nature that comes with the tropical storm, tropical depressions. All right, so it doesn't look like they have the game on here. But so that's what we got so far here. So we're going to we're gonna leave it like that here. We didn't do very well on our parlay yesterday. It was not a very good one here. Didn't did not cash did not cash did not cash by a long shot here. Only won the Braves so we won 2 games, lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We were 2-6 yesterday, so we'll try to do better today here. We'll try to definitely do better today, but until then, this is the fresh and funky Playz and Parlayz sports show here. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and if you're out there in Florida or anywhere near that path of that hurricane, my thoughts and my prayers are with you. Hopefully, you're staying safe. You're hunkered down. You guys don't lose power, and that people don't go crazy, and people can make sure that that things don't run out, and then just don't panic, and then make everything's even more worse here. The worst thing to do in a situation, in any type of situation, is to panic, and then the panic just sets in, and when it just creates more more problems than need be. So our thoughts and our prayers are for those people in Florida right now that they're enduring this hurricane right now, Hurricane Ian. So, and then obviously for those in Georgia and South Carolina and everyone else that's going to be getting the remnants of this hurricane, subtropic cyclone. So I'm out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. So be better and not bitter. And I'm out this.